Hi there, I'm Sarah Dobson with Canadian HR Reporter here on HR This Week. Right now we're talking to Cameron Laker, who is the CEO and founder of Mindfield in Vancouver. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So you are doing a session looking at recruitment. That might be a little general. Can you tell me a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. Our business is all about helping hourly employers hire great frontline staff.
Okay.
And data is becoming such a critical part of how you make great hires. So a lot of what I'm talking about today is the session is about you're hiring the wrong people. It's a bit of a challenger approach. Really, I mean, companies do a great job of hiring in general, but really trying to understand the data behind how do you make a great hire, what goes into making a great hire, and how do you build a process that actually allows you to go really build what we call a data-driven hiring strategy.
Okay, can you talk a bit about what kind of data you're looking at?
Yeah, so on some very basic information, you look at resume data such as employment, background, education, and most ATSs will parse that out for you, so you've got that piece. But then the behavioral sides, what are the key behaviors or skill sets that A, you're screening for, but B, actually translate to success. So the data that we're finding, the magic in the data is not just about the pre-hire data, but how did you evaluate that person, and then how did they perform? And were they engaged? And if you can tie that data back, you can really start to get a continuous improvement program in place that just makes your hiring process better and better and better every single person you hire.
Okay. Now, of course, HR is always hard-pressed for time and
Sure.
resources. How do they sort of make that work for them?
Yeah, the good news is, they can hire us,
Right.
all jokes aside. But really where technology is going is a lot of the automation and the workflows are there to support this type of an activity. Whether it comes from automated candidate sourcing, the way candidates flow through, obviously the applicant tracking systems have been here for decades and they're able to manage that process. Assessments can be baked right in. So although it's a big job, technology can really augment this entire process.
And for the services that you offer and such, do you think HR is well trained enough to understand it, or are a lot of them still working on a traditional model?
They're absolutely not trained for the social
Yeah.
side of things. This is a marketer's mindset, not an HR mindset. So now that being said, there's lots of shining examples of HR departments and companies really embracing this social piece to build their employment brand. But at the end of the day, this is a marketing mindset. This isn't about talent management. So what we're finding too, and some of the more progressive companies are starting to hire this type of capability onto their HR team. They're recognizing it as a core capability gap, and they're hiring marketers in to help them build their brand. And I think that will start that process.
Right, okay. All right, and looking forward, how do you anticipate the recruitment landscape changing over the next year or so, particularly with the economy still unsettled?
Well, yeah, and obviously the barrel prices are going to throw a real wrench into things.
Right.
So, we're cautiously optimistic that the market will remain stable, but from an hourly job seeker perspective, there will be a lot more candidates, I believe, available. As the jobs become scarce, these frontline retail jobs start to become front and center for people looking for employment. So we expect an influx of new candidates, probably more qualified candidates than we may have right now, due to really the oil prices, and I think we are going to see a little bit of a ripple from that. And then Target with 17,000 employees, and there's a few other retailers that just aren't succeeding. Suncor laid off 1,000 people last week. These people are back in the job market, and retail and restaurants will have a real opportunity to grab some great talent.
So it's a good time to get recruitment right.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.